With the custom frame built and lights added, it was finally time to build the first control panel of my desk. Audio. But it's useless, at least until everything's plugged in. That's microphone, headphone, and bass shakers. For the microphone, I need to make custom XLR cables, which I haven't done before. I just put the wires on the wrong pins 2 times in a row. And the headphone and bass shaker need to be rerouted to the front of the desk. So I also need to design a custom 3D printed bracket. The inspiration for this stage of the desk is old school synthesizers, where you use patch panels to go out and back in. Now this microphone cable is referred to as a 3-pin XLR. It's by Rode, but the cable itself is actually by Kinect. And when I was in Taiwan shopping at their massive multi-story tech shopping center, I stumbled across an audio gear shop that was selling a really cool blue microphone cable. And it happened to also be made by Kinect. I then noticed the tip said Nutric, so I jumped online to order the same so we can have a matching set. The cable had an outer shield that I had to unweave and then twist into a thicker wire. And it was handy having the pre-made cable so I could gauge the lengths of each wire. Today's video is sponsored by PCBWay.com, where you can upload, say, a 3D print file, select the material, color, and quality, and get an instant quote for it to be manufactured and shipped to you. They also have PCB, CNC, and other advanced manufacturing methods to help you with your next project. Big thanks to PCBWay for sponsoring today's video. I just put the wires on the wrong pins 2 times in a row. I don't even know how that happened, but they're correct now. It was cool to see teeth on this inside piece so that when you screw the tip together, it stops the cable from being pulled out. Having bought the same plug ends made it easier to figure out how long the cable should be, especially when it's all stripped back and ready to solder. I did it! I made a mini cable! Oh! No way, that's so good. There's no denying it comes out a lot, but that looks pretty cool. Testing. Hello? The levels are really low. Rode cable here. That is needing way too much gain. I can't get over the timing for my mic to stop working. Like, Rode has a 10-year warranty on this thing, but I bought it secondhand in 2017, so no idea what will happen there. However, thankfully, I think I've got a solution. So let's get into rerouting the headphones. Okay, so I've never done what I'm about to do, but in theory, it makes sense. And that's rerouting a headphone jack. Now, I've bought this panel mount 1/4-inch jack. However, it's got this locking mechanism and I find it too hard to press and pull for my liking. So with a quick mod to the headphone jack that we're using to mod the headphone jack, we're ready to work. Mate, I was trying to figure out which pin on the circuit board leads to each section. I can use an aux cable, and now I can do a simple continuity test and it will beep when the aux cable matches the PCB. That's our tip. That's our ring. You should be the sleeve. Nothing for sleeve. Hang on. If I go inside, tip, ring, sleeve. I cut open a spare aux cord to see what cable they were using, and it looks like they're using the same as the mic cable. So they've got dual core for the left and right drivers, and then the outer shielding is for the ground. Thankfully, I bought some of this black cable, which should do the job. To minimize strain on the solder joints, I'm going to zip tie the cable to my 3D printed bracket that we made in the previous video. I was struggling trying to figure out a way to make this disconnect, and then I realized it doesn't have to because this will be pushed through up to the face and screwed in. But I can just straight solder it. Plug the sound card into my laptop, and I'm going to plug in headphones. Oh, like I heard like the headphone plug-in sound. Sounds better out halfway. Maybe this ring tip's not the greatest one. Let's try this one. Oh, that's perfect. Oh boy. Cool. Well, works. My brain thinks that soldering wires will take as long as plugging in a wire. I always greatly underestimate how long it will take to do a project. So now it's time to 3D model a simple bracket for holding the plugs at the front of the desk. By the way, the software is called Tinkercad. It's free 3D modeling software by Autodesk. Super simple, it's shapes, and you're surprised what you can make with it. I'll use it mainly because it's free. This is the plug for my bass shaker chair. If you haven't seen it, I pulled apart my off-the-shelf gaming chair and mounted tactile transducers. Now these vibrate with bass frequencies, creating a very immersive gaming or entertainment experience. I'll never forget the first time sitting in an X-Wing in VR and feeling my chair rumble as I increased the thrusters. It's no doubt one of my all-time favorite projects. But it got annoying not being able to move my chair without crawling under the desk to unplug it from the amp, and so I made a simple coiled cable with a DC plug at the front of my desk. Except this time, we're adding a headphone jack. Alright, so I was trying to find out where the little mounting holes are in relation to the big one. On one side, the center of the hole looks to be in line with the edge of the big one. On the other side, the edge of the little hole is in line with the edge of the big one. So if I line that up in the software, that should then hopefully line up when I 3D print it. So I've got the prototype from the printer. So, that is bang on. I was right about the holes. This screw helps us attach it to the desk. Will this now fit? I feel like they might touch. It is. It's too tight of a clearance. Oh, that's easy fix. Just move it down. Oh, yeah, sick. All right, let's test this on the desk. Mini speaker under the big speaker. That's kind of funny. I would like to round these edges. You might remember from when I built the frame of the desk that I chose V-slot aluminium extrusions because you can easily move sliding nuts to where you want mounting points. Okay, so you won't believe it, but the day my mic stopped working, a new mic arrived. And a mic stand from Fifine. They didn't pay for anything to be in this video, but since it came in clutch and I'll be using it going forwards, I'll give it a shout out because the mic arm is great value, mostly metal with cable pass-throughs and a nice swivel action. But the microphone, this blew me away. Not only is it USB-C that you can plug into your computer, but has XLR so you could plug it into an audio interface. I've used it for this entire video's voiceover and I could buy it for $100 Australian. Cool. Alright, you need to get on the back here. It's right where there's a wire coming through. Oh, that looks perfect. It's almost like a little ratchet design. Oh, the bass shaker. I've had the bass shaker for like 2-3 months. So good. Just having the plug back.